Welcome to Point 16, a very tiny suburban microfarm. It's not much, but it does what it needs to. Figured I would start with a greenhouse tour with our little tiny plastic greenhouse that has these great little Velcro windows and a zippered front, and it's just taller than me, which of course is perfect. And it comes with a tiny guard chug, Chihuahua Pug mix. We have zucchini that's doing really well, I didn't expect that, and some broccoli that I'm not sure if it's happy or not. Our Gold Rush beans are ready to be beans. That was a surprise, but a happy one. They're even flowering. And potatoes, because who doesn't need a ton of potatoes? Tomatoes that just got moved out of the sun. They had spent a long time there. They're going to get moved as well, and more potatoes. They deserve more sun, and it's time for them to turn around. The potatoes, tomatoes, beans, these things are all going to be replanted in garden beds that are going just beyond the edge of the deck there. Down here we've got onions that are sprouting and more seeds in there that are hopefully going to come up and be more onions. Some cabbage and broccoli. Again, I'm not sure if it's suffering because of our water, the soil, certain temperature changes we've had, but leafy greens are over on this side where they get a little more shade and indirect bright light. At least the cucumbers are happy. Up top in trays, another zucchini, a tomato, and several carrots. Those are all waiting to be replanted as well. And over here we have romaine, which is doing surprisingly stupendous, which I love because I want more lettuce in my life. All of them are very happy. In the corner we've got the jalapeno, 2 eggplant plants coming up, some mustard greens and cabbage. Cabbage is not the happiest. I wish I could figure out what it was that it didn't like. And down below, because I just need them, are morning glories, hoping those will come up. And there it is, a perfect little plastic greenhouse that sits on our deck, secured after several windy trips across the lawn. You live and you learn. And how could I forget this tiny sage plant? Because who doesn't need garden sage? To water everything that's in the trays, I actually water the tray directly. And because everything is sitting in peat pots, well, if they're in the shade, I put the water on them too. Everything sits in peat pots, which soak up all the water underneath them, and it helps it keep it moist consistently and over a longer period of time, especially since they're in a hot greenhouse. There's a pea down there as well. Sometimes they struggle. A few of my friends have said that they're very temperamental, so I want to grow a few more peas and have them sprout up just in case. I also like to move the plants around a little bit to make sure the water is distributing evenly. Noticing that eggplant wasn't getting very much, so a little drier, and having to put some of the cabbage back there. I'm switching up a few different things to make sure that they're all okay and make sure that the water is spread out evenly. Turn them to make sure their leaves are getting the best light as well. Maybe I just like arranging them and touching them. I don't know. More than anything, I just want them to all be very happy. And see how dry that mustard green is on the top, so I put that where the deepest part of the water is in that tray. And all of those trays are plastic reusable containers that are from takeout. And if one is a little overfilled and I don't want to hurt the romaine, I just dump the water from the tray into the one that's less full. And I'm not wasting water either because we have rain catchment, which I'll do a video about as well, that we water all our plants with. Just stick them back on the shelf and they all seem to get along together. Hopefully. Probably. We'll do companion planting when we put them in the ground. But for now, they've got to live in here in their little hothouse where it just has little Velcro ties to keep the door up. And I can do this one-handed, obviously, so it's that simple of the design. It zips closed. And give them a little air at the bottom. It also is installed with little air flaps on the bottom as well. And that's where the plants live for now. Out in the yard will be where we stick the garden beds. They're going to be raised and have sides on them that are treated to keep them protected, and they'll be fenced in as well. You can see my neighbor does an awesome garden, and he's getting ready to till his and plant as well. And he shares vegetables, so that's wonderful. I guess I have a little bit of a seeding problem because I also put some herbs inside. Again, reusable container, chopped in half. We've got basil, rosemary, and thyme. I'm hoping the rosemary comes up. It hasn't made much of an appearance yet. Little baby basils and little baby thymes are wonderful. There's a lot of seeds in one area, which I will separate out and give them bigger places to grow. Probably do an indoor herb garden because we have so much light in the windows. But I love that they sprouted so well, which means the seeds are really good and hopefully the plants are hardy. And that's lavender because I love it. And how adorable is that little seedling? I hope to keep it coming. I hope you enjoyed this tiny little tour of our backyard greenhouse, and you'll come back for more as we keep updating on our tiny micro farm.